Hi, welcome. I'm Farmer Terry, and we are at the Urban School Farm. And today we're talking about the difference between hay and straw. That's something that I talk about to kids of all ages every year to understand the difference. Hay, as you can see, is green. It is dried grass, and it can have leaves and seeds and buds in it. This is alfalfa hay, and it's a compressed bale, which means it's been squeezed together so much that it takes up a very small amount of room. Here on the urban farm, we don't grow our own hay, so we have to purchase it. Normally we purchase it from farmers and we have kind of the traditional bale, but this we actually got from a box store. So good thing to know that if you need hay and you are not a farmer, you can get it in a lot of different places. I, of course, suggest your local farmers to find the best quality product. But for our purposes today, we have this great compressed bale of alfalfa hay. Hay can be made out of or combinations of different grasses. But the thing to remember about hay is it's food. It is the nutrient part, which makes sense that it would be green because green is the most nutritious color on the farm. So hay we use to feed our animals in the wintertime when they don't have access to fresh pasture. It starts about December that we're using hay, but really right now, the middle of July is often when we're harvesting it and baling it. Compressing it into different size bales and storing it after we make sure it's nice and dry. Hay, because it's green, has a lot of nitrogen in it, so you have to be careful not to store it damp. You need to make sure it has airflow because nitrogen is combustible and we don't want a little fire starting anywhere on the farm. Now, in contrast, you can see we have a bale of straw sitting behind me, which, by the way, I'm sitting on a trailer that has some seating made with straw bales. We call it a hay ride, but really it's a straw ride. Straw, on the other hand, is brown. It's high in carbon, it's dead organic matter. That's why it works so well as a layering in our composting systems. But if you were to look closely at these pieces of straw, you would see that these are hollow stems. These were the stems of grain, and there are different grains we grow on that grow on stems like these. So straw can come from wheat, can come from barley, it can come from different grains, but it is the part that holds the seed pods that are harvested oftentimes with combines in big farms, and they're hollow. So what they really do well is create insulation. We use straw in our barns in the wintertime for bedding. We put it in our rabbit hutches, we put it in our goat and chicken coops. We use it for sitting on. We use it in our compost piles as a source of carbon, like I mentioned. Where else do we use it? Oh, we use it for mulching. It's a great insulator of moisture as well. So like any mulch, straw can be used to suppress weeds, to hold moisture, and because it's a carbon, it can feed the microorganisms in the soil. So if there's an area that you want to protect over the winter, you can certainly put straw, and these straw bales come apart in sections we call flecks or slices, and they are pretty compacted, and they will actually, the more compacted they are, the more insulating they are. So if you're using them in their most compacted form, you're not going to get growth through them. Now, if you start pulling them apart and allowing the moisture and the sun to get through, you're going to get some growth, maybe from some seed that was left on some of the shafts, some of the stems, or weed seed that's on the ground. So How else do we use straw? We actually grow potatoes in straw. In fact, all winter long, we clean out our coops and our winter bedding for our animals, and we continue to pile it up in a certain area. And in the spring, we put our first potato planting into that. Simply opening it up, putting the potato in, closing it, and allowing the potato to grow. And as it gets taller, we continue to add actually clean straw or straw that sat out all winter. And that becomes the foundation for the potatoes to grow. It makes harvesting potatoes a lot easier too. And you can do that in a fun, small spot on any landscape, your backyard, your schoolyard. You can even do it in containers. So straw and hay are two really important parts of any farm that has livestock for sure. And there's so many great places to get it now that you don't have to be a big farmer to have hay and straw. You can purchase it from farmers and from box stores if you have to. That's last resort. Thank you for joining me today and talking about hay and straw. And by the way, our hay ride is really a straw ride. Remember that. Have a great day.